But why is it that virtually every man has to fight to see their child?
Why are you complaining about a problem that you created for yourself? I don't want to hear it. You created that problem.
Yes.
So now you're like, oh, I have to fight my way out of my own problems. Oh, I'm sorry. Are we not all adults?
They're at home by themselves. The mum have to work. They got no bread. He has to go out. He needs to put money on gas and electric. Us here, sitting here, we have to be the example and come out and help them. Do you see what I'm saying? So enough of us doing that though.
What about the fathers?
The fathers are trash. That's what we have to say. The ones that don't look after their kids are trash. And I can't. They're adults. Well. You know, people having kids at all ages, but you know, if you're a big grown man and you have kids out there and you don't fend for your kids, you're trash. That's a fact.
I think on the surface level that sounds great. I consult men and I speak to men who want to see their children. Been doing it.
Why can't they see them?
Been doing it for a few years now. So if you were to go to the Fathers for Justice, there's a website called Fathers for Justice.
Right, educate me.
If we go back to the early 2000s, I don't know if you guys remember a bunch of people scaling Buckingham Palace in superhero uniforms.
No,
you don't remember?
No.
There's a bunch of people that scaled Buckingham Palace and Parliament in Superman uniforms, and essentially they were putting themselves in a place where they could get shot because you're scaling Buckingham Palace. I'm sure they got snipers up there. Do you get what I'm saying? Like you could get shot, and they were an organization called Fathers for Justice, and they would put their banner down. And as I was young, because it was in early 2000s, I was young. I never had a child then. I've actually got a boy now, and I didn't understand what they were doing. I didn't understand why they were doing it. But as I got older and I started going through certain things and consulting men, and I started seeing that 200 men per day are actually removed from their children via the family court system.
How much? 200?
200 children.
That's a fact.
200 children. Yeah, you can go to the Fathers for Justice website and you can pull it up now.
And what's the reasons?
So the reasons vary. However, what I will say is this. There are trash people out there. There are trash fathers out there. But there are also a lot of fathers who want to see their children.
Yeah.
And I'm actually there's a video there, Jesse, actually, number 3, that we can play and just hear what this woman says. And I think what's happening is there's a prevailing psychology within a lot of women out there. I think it's video 3.
Enough to be a parent in their children's lives.
Just a question. I am agreeing with you. But just a question though. Why is it
that they have to fight?
These men have to fight. The fact that they have to fight is one thing. The fact that they're not fighting enough is another thing. So both things are correct. So I'm agreeing with you. These men are not fighting enough for their child. That's the thing, right? But why is it that virtually every man has to fight to see their child?
Why are you complaining about a problem that you created for yourself? I don't want to hear it. You created that problem.
Yes.
So now you're like, oh, I have to fight my way out of my own problems. Oh, I'm sorry. Are we not all adults?
I agree.
Is life not always what we want it to be?
Yeah.
You'll leave her to fight for herself, but you're like, oh, I ain't gonna fight for my kid. Why I gotta fight for my kid? Over a problem that you created yourself. When we could have all just been like, you know what? I'm good on the kids. Let me wrap it up. Let me at least get married first. Let me at least try to do the right thing.
He's getting blamed. It takes 2 to tango, isn't it? He's getting blamed.
That's
It's not being fair. And you know what? I was gonna actually help her there until she came.
Again.
And she kept on speaking.
Yeah, until she came again. Yeah.
I was gonna help her. I was actually gonna say that they have to carry the child for 9 months. So maybe there's we got to try and find a balance here.
Do you have children?
No.
Do you have children?
No.
That psychology there is a lot of the reason, is a lot of the thing that I speak to men about when I consult them. They say things like they have to fight for their children. And I don't know if you think Mike Tyson and John Bones Jones and Hulk need to stand in front of my kids for me to fight them. The question becomes, who am I fighting? What and why am I fighting?
Why are you fighting?
Why am I fighting to see my own child? A mother doesn't have to fight to see her child,
But
right?
that's because she carries it, right? Is that why?
Yeah, because essentially the children are naturally given to the mother.
Yeah, it's
But
nature does that.
the children
Yeah.
are from both people.
Facts.
There's a comment here
Facts.
from Sammy B, who said women regard their children as their property.
Yeah.
And more particularly, not the property of not the father's property.
And do you know why that is? Like, it's because they hold it. That's why. That is the honest truth. Just because they have it
out
there,
of
them,
Yeah.
they feel like it's theirs. And that's why I was gonna help her slightly until she went a bit too far. And she said that we created the problem. But who am I sleeping with then? Am I sleeping by myself?
The problem. You're sleeping with the problem.
That's true. Sleeping with the problem. But you know what? As men, we have to be very careful. We're not always going to get it right. But who you're sleeping with.
Yeah, you need to be careful.
You need
Them
to
type
be
of women.
careful of
Them
that.
type of women, man. Dangerous.
Are you speaking with your women? Are you having conversations?
The reason
Before
why
you dip your left.
do you know the reason why I asked you lot if you've got children before is because something that I've come across in my life, and some people can rubbish it and some people can say, yeah. But as a father myself, I've said that you never know a woman until you have a child with them.
I've heard that before.
You never know a woman. Like you could think you could be with a woman for 5 years.
I've heard that before.
And
never
everything
heard
could
that
be
one.
cool.
I normally hear you never know a woman until you live with them, not until you've had a child.
No, live with them, yeah. But
Is it true they change?
that something goes off in their brain? In my personal point of view.
At what point is there a change?
There's a change. You notice a change after the children or the child's hair.
Is it just the fact that you're no longer first place? Is that what it is?
For some men, I didn't mind not being first place. My son was always first place in my eyes. Like that was just because I was raising my son. But it's like the person in the comment section said, a lot of women just see the children as theirs. And it's like,
but
it's both of your children.
But is that nature? Is nature making these women feel like that? And you can't stop nature. I always go back to that. Is nature making them be like this? It's a hormonal,
You think it's a biological thing.
Yeah, like it's maybe it is.
That maybe that's why she said you have to fight, and she used the term fight so flippantly. It's like fight for why must I fight to see my child?
I don't like that bit.
Yeah, that was borderline.
And you're the problem. I don't like that.
Manipulation. I felt.
Yeah.